Getting ready for the restart in the second half. Miscellaneous Laventille 0, Seekers FC 2 goals in the first couple of minutes of the match have set Seekers, it seems, on their way to victory here. What will be their first victory of the season? They had a heavy defeat last week, and this will be the ideal tonic for the Seekers team. As for Miscellaneous Laventille, badly beaten last week, and now looking at down at another loss here. And can they find their way back? There were some encouraging signs for them. Morgan, Dyer, and Sandy involved in a few good moves, but they were unable to get the ball into the back of the net. So it's all for the team in red and green to play for in the second half. As for Seekers, it's just about game management for them. If they can get a couple of goals in the second half, they will confirm their first 3 points of the season. So far, earlier today, we saw Rbnyfl FC go under to Trendsetter Hawks 12-0. City FC defeated Mughal Lions 2-0. And now we have Seekers leading Miscellaneous Laventille by 2 goals to 0. Here comes Seekers in the black and white. Well, he's looking for the cross, and we'll get a corner here for early on in the second half. This is how they started in the first half. Got the early goal. The keeper, Benjamin, actually handled one into the goal. A really horrible mistake for the youngster. Well, I'm sure he's shaken off already. Here's the corner about to be taken. Here they come. Well, it's just along the ground. That was a poorly hit corner. Still might be good for Seekers. Chipped in towards the far post and too long for anyone. And Seekers will not benefit from that. Closest man to it was Elisha Rogers for Seekers. There's also Rogers on the field. That's Isaac Rogers, both of them on the field. Seekers now on the attack. Be a promising opening. Oh, he's run straight into the player. Boatswain, Jamal Boatswain hit the ground hard. Didn't see the Laventille player coming. And those two clattered against each other. That was a very interesting looking ball there from the Laventille player. Hit it back into the heart of his own defense. Here comes Seekers. And the second half substitute Charles. Dispossessed. Now Laventille are off to the races here. Joseph, can he get the ball towards there? He does. And that is a good save. The keeper just got there in time, Craig, to stick out a big right hand and make the stop. That was had a goal with the that could have been Joseph putting them back into the game. Benjamin gets it downfield. He's a young and very inexperienced keeper. Oh, he almost was caught on the way. He just kicked the ball and then seemed to go into a world of his own. Suddenly looked up and there was a striker standing in the bottom goal. I'll tell you what, if the Seekers player Joseph had gotten that in on goal, that would have been very interesting indeed, because Benjamin was looking towards the golf course rather than down the field. Not sure if he has someone playing golf that he'd like to look at. That was certainly a most unorthodox piece of goalkeeping from Benjamin. He is young and he will learn, and that's the thing about experience. You will learn from these experiences. 4th minute of the game here, in the second half that is. So 49th minute overall. Here comes Seekers again. That's a good interception there, and a timely one by Dexter John. Dexter John with another one of these young players with the big afros. I mentioned earlier that Mocha would have been the hometown of, well, actually the home school, a school that several former national players would have come to. And what's happening here? Let's take a look at Rbnyfl. What he's going to do. He's picked up the ball, and what does he call here for? He's going to give the ball back. There was something going on. Rbnyfl has decided to give it back here to the Miscellaneous Laventille team. Laventille team. Handed it back here to Roberts. What does Roberts do? He just bunts it downfield. Well, it almost, well, maybe if that had been goal, that could have been interesting. So Roberts had the opportunity to reset play. They played back to his goalkeeper, look for an outlet pass, but he's done the next best thing. Try a shot on goal, and it's one corner. Most unorthodox bit of play here. Gotta call it improvisational attack from the Seekers FC team. And Jones goal and charged down. Well, that could have been a goal there for Laventille, and that's their second opportunity in this half. They're building up ahead of steam here. Nice move. Looking for the shot here. That was Williams going one way and the next. He ignores Williams, and that has gone straight towards Dexter John, who only temporarily takes it away from trouble. So just to remind you, Villarreal scoring in the first minute of the game, and barely 60 ticked on the clock. A cross came in, and goalkeeper Benjamin bundled it into his own net. Unfortunately for the young man, but 2-0. That's how it's stayed since then. So we haven't had a goal in fully 46 minutes. For the ones of trying though for Seekers. Free kick for Williams. It's low when Benjamin is there. It's not a bad idea to hit it from that distance because you have a young keeper who's a little bit shaky on his confidence. So why not try to shot from distance? Good thinking there from the number 10 Williams. But Benjamin was smartly across the mid-stump. Nice work from Benjamin. Yes, he's had a couple of mistakes, but he's also made some solid saves. Still to come, Pro Series versus Extreme. That's the final match on today. Miscellaneous Laventille 0, Seekers 2 in this one. Here comes the throw in. It's from, well, he hit that on the turn. Not sure if that was a cross or a shot on goal, but it turned out to be a good pass indeed. John is dispossessed. Here comes the Seekers. It's a nice touch to get it past the streaking run of the forward. Oh, that's not a good ball. That's what he was trying to do there, but it comes across his teammate. Villarreal, the goal scorer. That's hit from distance again. But that was a wild looking shot at goal. A rainy afternoon, well, a drizzly afternoon if you want the truth. A couple of drizzles, and that has held up play just a little bit. Oh, what's happened here? The two players from the Laventille team just to duck away from it. That's not what it's about. Shot from distance and not far away. Williams there with the effort with the right foot. And just flashing past the upright. Minutes into the second half. It's headed away. And hit further downfield. It's a real lack of composure from the young players of Miscellaneous Laventille. They just don't seem to be settling with the ball at their feet. Once they see the opposition coming, they just pound it downfield. They'll get another chance to see how that's going. Of course, they are young, they will learn. That's more composure here shown. And that's an offside against Morgan. Joseph has seen, he's been the best player out Oh, it looked like there was a chance. Oh, the keeper's come for it and made the stop. He's also collected it into the seekers forward. Seemed to take that to the face. Benjamin came through very hard. It seems that he hit the second half substitute Charles in the face. Charles is okay. He's going to take the corner. He's like a steady young man. Let's see what the Seekers will do here. I think low and it's hooked away at the near post. Joseph, he loses the ball out to Williams. And they're not linking up too many passes, are they, the miscellaneous Laventille team? A long ball again. This time it's a better one. This is a testing one that to the center. They isolated the central defender. Neither of the two Laventille players up there could get to it. They're very, very direct. If you want to get the truth here, they're very direct in terms of their play. Chance! Oh my, he hit that really poorly. Second chance. It's the defender this time. Well, that's why you should never praise players if you're a commentator. You put the curse on them. Just mentioning how good he was with the ball at his feet. And he stops the shot. Great chance to score. They've had enough chances here, miscellaneous Laventille, to have been ahead in this game. Time here for Seekers to just catch their breaths. And their keeper is down. That's Craig on the ground at the moment. Referee Jared Payne is there to just take care of the youngster. And the teams are here for the next game, Pro Series and Extreme. Both teams are already warming up for that. On the 20 action, 18 in the under 20 division in North Zone. And it's started. It's been very interesting. City FC on the team that have gone ahead. They've won their two games, and the Toronto Series will get their second win so far. Substitution for the Laventille team, and there is a man coming on. I'll tell you what that is coming on for Laventille. That's Craigwell coming on, and he gets across towards the right-hand side. It's like the right side of left side, Brighton. Left side of midfield for the. In the meantime, the Seekers goalkeeper is still getting some treatment as he tries to get himself organized for the remainder of this match. 15 minutes into the second half. Still a long way to go, and if anything, if you are a miscellaneous Laventille supporter, you wouldn't be discouraged by what you've seen from your team so far. Yes, they're down 2 goals, but they continue to manufacture chances. Those long balls, it's not the most attractive bit of the play, but they're proving to be very effective. They're getting Joseph in all sorts of space, and he just hasn't been able to apply the finish just yet. But if he gets one right, it's game on here between Seekers and miscellaneous Laventille. There's a change. This time it's miscellaneous Laventille. Actually, it is Seekers who will get the change. And looks like Gaston has come on. Benjamin does well to get that one. Sends it downfield immediately, straight to Seekers, so it's coming straight back at him. Here's Gaston getting involved in the first move. Ooh, he's tumbling and rumbling there. Benjamin does well. And not the best of clearance by Benjamin. Fall in the middle of the park here. That looks like the Seekers player Joseph is down. And a big smile on his face. Looks miscellaneous Lavender player Charles very well as to just exchange a few playful fisticuffs. This one swept away towards the goal. Oh no! Into the back of the net. And, well, Seekers have scored their third goal, and it's Roberts who has it. And Roberts scores it. So 61 minutes on the clock, and Roberts scores the third goal. Could there be another one here? Almost inches away from it. Well, that was a deliberate handball. Referee is asking the Seekers player, what was that? It's not volleyball. Just reminding him. Well, Joseph had an opportunity to cross that into the middle. There were three teammates waiting for the ball, and he just transferred it to the defenders. Strange bit of play there by Joseph. So it's going to be a corner, though, for the miscellaneous Lavender team. All of their best chances have fallen here to Joseph. Hasn't been able to put away one yet. Still time for him. Towards the near post, and that's wide. Joseph hit that well, deflected away for another corner. That one he got on target. This time he couldn't find the net. So they leave the corner now for Joseph. Decides that he's going to take it without Patterson. Hitting towards the near post, cleared. Charles actually was the man who took that corner. Now here can Lavender on the defensive at the moment. Bit of high head tennis going on at the moment. And here's Williams, straight into the back of his own player. That is the whistle to go, and we still have just under 28 minutes to go in the game. And a 3-0 ahead here, Seekers. Is there any way back for miscellaneous Lavender? Is looking less and less likely that they'll get another goal. A goal in this game. They continue to carve out chances, but nothing yet to bulge the old onion bag of the Seekers goalkeeper. Pumped into the area. Shot from distance here by John. Playing downfield. Keeping away in a dangerous area here. There could be a break on for Seekers. Gould just does enough to get that clear. Good work. Rogers is trying to do a bit too much. Gets the pass away finally to Charles. And if he had gotten that pass away, Charles could have been in on goal. Just trying to do a bit too much here, Rogers. That's Elisha Rogers. Isaac Rogers is number 21. Breaks player in the area. Oh, two players just getting in each other's way. Crossed it in. Benjamin just gets his body onto it. That's an area of the game he needs to work on. It's kicks. Ball is coming off the outer side of his foot every time he kicks it. Not on that sweet spot on the instep, but off the outer portion of his boot. And that's why every time he kicks it, it just screws wide. So we're kicking out for the Laventille team. What's happening here? There's a bit of a discussion taking place on the touchline. Larry Launchan is the one who's having a bit of a discussion. They won't bring on a substitute here. That's what Larry Launchan is making sure. They're not sure who's coming off. That's the problem. Williams was popping himself. Just getting an insight into what the discussion is about. They're using the basketball type substitutions here, and they're wondering if the player came off in the first half but he does not come back on in the second half, if that means that you can't come back on. Now the ball is in the back of the net here, but it's not going to count. Referee Jared Payne has called playback. That will be a free kick. Is it an offside call? Yes, it is. Larry Launchan has his flag up on the far side. So here comes Seekers. Oh, that's a rather ambitious shot with the angle against him and the distance against him. Just manages to remind us this is the Republic Bank National Youth Cup Football League 2025. And that one clatters into the board. It looks like he's done some damage to himself also. Elisha Rogers. Straight downfield immediately by Mohan. Joseph is going flying there. He's seen every inch of the turf here at Mocha. And it's a real lack of composure shown here by the miscellaneous Laventille players. But, that's why you come out here and play. You learn so much about your game and where you need to improve on. That's going to be another change. It looks like Laventille will be bringing on miscellaneous Laventille. Brown looks like he's going to come on. In the meantime, Williams is heading off for Seekers FC. I haven't quite decided who's going to come off. Now they decide. So Williams is going to stay on. So and it looks like Charles has come off for Laventille. So the miscellaneous Laventille team just rolling the device here, trying to find the right combination that will bring them back into the game. Here's the goal kick. And John has been one of the better players for the Rbnyfl2025 team, getting his foot onto that. That's a ball for him. To the middle. And it's easy here for the goalkeeper, Craig. Very interesting. We have Craig, who's a left footer. So all four of the goalkeepers we've seen in the last two games, they're all left footers. There might be something in that. Knocked forward here by Joseph, and the keeper comes for it and makes the stop. Whistle goes and there's a player down. Boy, is he looking like he's in a lot of, and looks like little Joseph. Joseph has run on every inch of the turf here at Bu20. He might be small in size, but I tell you what, he has a formidable engine to work with. Looks like he's going to get a break though. Now they'll all get a break because that is the end of the period, the first period here. We're just about that 26-minute mark, and referee Darren Payne says, let's take a break. 3 goals in the game so far. Villarreal in the first minute, no goal in the second, and Roberts in the 61st. Seekers lead at Rbnyfl until by 3 goals to 0. So we're about ready to restart. The final countdown for this game, just about the 13-minute mark of the second half. Free kick here for Rbnyfl. Turn! Fired across the face of goal. Well, the man who's been the closest for them has been Joseph. That one, he just banged that one across goal. There was a player coming in at the far side, and he was not able to get the final touch to knock it in. It's 3-0 now. The goal, maybe if it had come, would have affected the outcome of this game. Now, time to look back and really rule a couple of those chances that he's had early in the second half. There was one that broke away and with the keeper alone, and just stuck his shot in straight to the goalkeeper. This could be a chance here. Seekers FC, and that's hit into the body. Goalkeeper diving across. Israel John was there to make a stop. Joseph had sat downfield. Here he is again. And Williams. So well the shot. So wow, what a save! Doing as well, but it's Rbnyfl on the second attempt. Great save, but he was unable to make the second save, and Rogers has scored. 76 minutes, and this is pretty much all over here. Rogers comes in to score, and that is Elijah Rogers, the number 7, comes in and scores in the 76th minute. That is 4-0. That is all she wrote for this one. Seekers will run away with the points here. And how Rbnyfl will simply rue those chances missed early in the second half. They could have had a chance to come back in this game. Well, here they come again. And
so our hand squat. That's what I about today. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers everywhere. See what I and up here, bring in my hand. Because yesterday was last time. This game. What was that? Teacher?
Yes, Williams went down. He's still waiting for the cross at the back post. So just doing enough here. Mohan, who's just bunted everything downfield. He's not standing in any ceremony, is he? Yeah, certainly.
And maybe as expected, but certainly today we've seen a lot of very interesting. Today we've seen a lot of very interesting football. I've been popping in and out of all the different zones. I didn't reach the south, but I got to the east in Maloney. No, I keep saying Maloney. In Colorado West with the under 14 boys there. And the size discrepancy is huge. Yeah, a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, very, very different.
It's tucked in and cleared at the last moment. Another shot goal which goes wide.
About 20 yards? Yeah, maybe about 10.
There was a mismatch in the last game. You had Moses of the CFC team. He was about 6'4". And then you had the young players from the Lions team, Constantine, who's barely over 4 feet tall. And Constantine was giving Moses no end to worry with his feet.
Yeah. I saw some of that at Eldo as well. You know, we saw lots of the very small bodied guys, but very quick. It's really, really hard to keep up with them when they're that mobile and at that size. So there's really no disadvantage. But you know, when you got the full package, where you have the size, the speed, the strength, and the skill, and then you have the mental aspect of it, where these kids are really putting in work, then you start to see it. You know, like right now, there we have this. Is that Lavender?
Yeah, the Seekers player.
Seekers on the deck right there.
Joseph, who's gone down, and I'll tell you what, this is not the first time he's gone down for this game. He's been down at least 3 times in the second half alone. And this time, however, it seems that he might be replaced because he looks like he's in a lot of pain. I feel it's cramped.
Yeah. You know, the weather is a little bit deceptive. It's cool. It's breeze is there. It's a little overcast. But you know, I think a lot of players, they don't like to drink water in conditions like this. And it catches up with you. And the other thing that you really need to take consideration of is your electrolytes. You know, water alone, no, it's not going to cut it. So you need to really plan this out. You know, and I think a lot of the youngsters, they just want to run out and play. You know, they say, oh, yeah, but they really need to think of football as a more age where we had one phone in the house, and if that phone rang at 10, it better be some emergency. So yeah, Paul is back in there, and nice clearance.
Hopefully at the earliest time. Seekers FC 3 goals already. Second minute, third minute, and also in the 4 goals correction, 61st and 76th. Also 4 goals, Rogers, fell around a very unfortunate own goal where goalkeeper Benjamin tried to save it, knocked off, it came off the upright, then back onto his arm and into the goal.
We got a corner coming in there, and a little outside of the commentary desk, but I'm seeing it.
That was
thrown away opportunity.
Great pass there for Gaston, and it was a contested effort.
That was a sitter. Yeah, for sure. But you know what I'm seeing with a lot of the lads, I haven't seen any of the girls games as yet, but what I'm seeing with a lot of the lads is quite a few very well prepared teams, but there are gaps. You know, some of the less prepared, less structurally sound teams, they have not been really grasping the opportunity. So we see a lot of score discrepancies. But let me put it to you like this. You know, people are saying we shouldn't let teams run up the score in the league. But I'm asking you this. I'm a parent, and I'm paying $700 a term for my academy, and that's a cheap academy, right? What am I supposed to do? You as a coach are telling my son or daughter, nah, you guys go 50. What? You crazy? Why do you start for $10 per pair? What? Score 50. Because if you got a chance, you would score 52.
That's right.
You guys saying this developmental. A part of the process is learning how to do it.
He shot put that away. That was a golden chance there for Charles, the second half substitute. Hit it straight at Benjamin. That should have been in the corner of the net.
Benjamin did well to cover all the angles there. Very, very good. Getting down to that ball very, very smoothly. We might have a chance to do that again there.
That's one save there by Benjamin again. And it was an offside called on the far side by Eustace Benjamin. He's also all about the Benjamins here right now.
And it's always good to see the keepers, even though you got drenched in goals, you're still up to the task and you're still focused because this is a youth development league. And part of it is you take some licks, you take your licks, you share your licks when you can, but you take your licks when you get it. You know, and I think a lot of the coaches need to respect that. You get out of this game, what you put in. You know, I just came from one of the fields there, and kids on the sideline, they were down 10-0, and they're making fun of their players, their own players. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, you know, that's like your squad.
Yeah.
You feel as if it's laughing at you in your own squad. They're all really quiet, you know?
Yeah. Lesson learned.
Something to think about.
Right over the defense.
Another one might be
Just knocks it wide.
yeah.
Says Elijah Rogers. Nice turn. There's a pass. Oh, Steelers.
Shanked it. Come on, my guy. What are you doing?
Well, he's very close to the golf course, so a shank is not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been out of bounds to use the golf term.
That's a really good point, you know. I was telling you guys, there was the substitute keeper on the bench there sitting with you guys, and he's laughing it up with them. And here we go again. Another one. Oh, there you go.
Gaston has a chance to score again. Drives across the face of goal. That could have actually turned into a great chance for the man coming in at the back post. Jamel Boutswing. Ooh, wow, what happened here? He's kicked out at the player. That is certainly not what you want to see. Gaston kicked out at the miscellaneous Lavender player who has responded, and Bigwell gets a yellow card. Now, what's going to happen to Gaston because he was the one
say you make these impossible decisions, but I think you need to be a little more strategic there with stuff. But that's how we do it sometimes. That's why they got two cards in the pocket,
That's right, but
he definitely chose the yellow. So
I'm not sure that was the right decision because that type of reaction is nothing you want to see.
he's gonna pick some angle somewhere later on in the game. What I was telling you is because we got the next match, and he's destined on, he's got and can with the rest of the class. I'm like, okay, so it's 10-0. How much did the front guy score? I got 10 goals, but how many did you score? So you want to be laughing at me because I made an error. I think the kicker was keeping us doing really well on that pressure. But the ball, I was there for 30 minutes and the ball never got out of the half. And when it did, he's very tall, very well, 6'4". He can, and I think a lot of these kids, they don't understand, hey, what? Maybe I'm a first year under 14. I'm not going to be able to compete with the guys for a season, training for 2 or 3 years and the same thing, a little more match IQ. Here we go again.
Desperate challenge and the clearance by John. Oh, they've brought it back into play. And John has
very useful.
It's straight at that man Seekers. Charles was especially disappointed. He should have hit the target there.
That was nicely up in there, but never think the fuck up big rhythm. And I think he had us to there. He could have done a lot more with that one.
He could have passed it into the goal already. Just went for power.
He went for power, and I think he got it. But I think there was a shipping error.
Well, this is interesting. Joseph, who was playing at centre forward, has now come back to play centre back. You don't see that very often. He is now the bigger figure of Joseph. That's for miscellaneous Laventille.
Grabbing the hip flexor on his left side, yeah. I'm guessing that's fine.
Yes.
So there, that technique on the left leg, that looks like something that.
It goes down, but the keeper does enough to make the stop. So that's sort of game for miscellaneous Laventille. They've had chances, and they haven't been able to put anything away. Benjamin comes for it and does the stop, makes the stop there, Benjamin. And just notice the Benjamin seems to be wearing 2 different boots. One, yeah, he's wearing 2 different boots. One is that purple and the other is orange.
What do you have to see? You have a port flight and a starboard light. So perhaps you got 2 pairs of shoes and trying to demonstrate some kind of marine awareness. Open. But what we've also seen is a lot of the resource allocation in the league is also there are gaps. There are some gaps, and I think we need to look at that as a country, as a community, strategically, how we can improve these lives, not just in the playing scenario, but in a kind of permanent intervention that will actually make some life-changing opportunities. And here we go again.
After it, Joseph will try to usher this one out of play.
Hey.
That was a solid kick there from Joseph. Sean will have to help him out and plays it. It's not to the way towards the ambulance. He's gone. And that could be the end of his day here, Joseph.
Yep. Unfortunately, call it.
Yep.
So it's a little bit.
Yeah, he is gonna. I think that's it for him for the day. That's a game for the miscellaneous Laventille players. Earlier today, we did see Trent at the Hawks in 12 fast Beatties Academy. They also had a lot of players injured in their first game, and some of those players that they would have hoped to have fielded in the first team could not play.
Big shout out to the Texas squad. Of course, they are an official affiliate of Betis in Spain. So, a lot of expectations. I think the pandemic lockdown definitely affected some of these clubs, and
On the outside, and hits it to a goal.
Very good defender there. Was that number 14?
Yeah, he got across to make the stop. That was Israel John. But Benjamin, give him credit. He seemed to be across in time to make the stop.
Get a little winded after that one. That was a full, short range, point blank delivery that he stopped with his bodyguards. Now he's not squatted yet, so maybe it's not the other bodyguards there, but definitely got that one square in the chest. Interesting way of defending.
That's into the area. Was that a handball? The referee says no. And now it's clear downfield, and that is it. That's all she wrote. Miscellaneous Rbnyfl have fallen to a 4-0 defeat here at the hands of Seekers FC. And Seekers got 2 goals in the first couple of minutes. Villarreal scoring in the first minute and an own goal. And then in the second half, Robertson in the 61st, Rogers in the 76th. And that is the first points for Seekers. 4-0 they win.
That's a wrap. Like fast tragedy. So I think a lot of what we see in here is very hopeful for the future of football in Trinidad and Tobago. I think we need to have a little more intentionality with training. You know, these lads and girls need to understand and interpret what their role and their own future is. You know, you can't be sitting through trainings with all kind of weak excuses. I mean, rain is only stop cricket, you know, but when you go to some of these training sessions, you see half the squad is absent for the rains, you know. We are respect, big ups to the Yellow TV crew. Listen, Yellow TV is bringing some hot spice to this thing. What do you think of the guys so far?
Yeah, certainly they always do. I had a chance to work with them for the Commonwealth Youth Games at the beach volleyball, and they're always top class.
I just want to treat the audience to, you know, you gotta go out there and share your stuff, you know. If this was some kind of school fight or somebody on the streets of Spain having a whole orangutan situation, that went viral. You know, people sending that in the church group on WhatsApp, and they sending it everywhere. People from foreign getting that. But why we don't want to share our youth doing the best? You know what I mean? Why is that the last thing to share? You know, I always wonder about that. But we, you know, we're creating these assets, we're creating content, and definitely it's up to you guys to make clips, send it out. Big shout out to Kerry over there at the Biggest Sports Live. You have been doing a really amazing job, guy. And all our media partners, mainstream media, bloggers, vloggers, everywhere you go. You know, it's a big community there.
Yeah, it certainly is. So coming up in a few minutes' time, we will have Pro Series against Extreme FC. That is the final game for the day. Join us for that in a couple of minutes.
There you go. And that's it for us until the stream starts back in a couple minutes. Love in the house. Remember, TT Game Plan, everywhere you want to be. Rbnyfl2025 all day, every day.
just moments away from the start of the final game of this Saturday. Action here in the 2025 Republic Bank National Youth Football League. And it's Pro Series against Extreme FC. Pro Series in the blue outfits against Extreme in the red. Pro Series attacking the goal to our right. And the Pro Series team, they are coached by Curtin Moe. And Keon Carrington is the man behind the controls for Extreme FC. Pro Series started last week with an outstanding win, the biggest win of the first round. They hit 18 past the team we saw earlier today. BT's Academy, 18-0, and two of the players, Thomas Jekyll and Jaden Samuel, getting 4 goals apiece. Kerry Batiste and Stephon James getting hat-tricks in that one. And those players are back on the field. Batiste number 7, Jekyll number 10. The two of these scorers are back on, and I guess somebody was a big fan of Kerry Batiste, the former national player, who had that wonderful season just about 15 years ago, scoring 50-odd goals in one season in the local football. So here they go now on Pro Series, trying to build on the right-hand side with Hill getting that one forward. Getting that clears Lewis for Extreme FC in the red. So both of these teams, as I mentioned, looking for their second win, and they're both trying to keep track with City FC, who won their second game earlier today. So these are the front runners in this particular competition, North Zone Under 20. Pro Series starting with Cassidy in goal, and team includes as we look at the what is this ball into the bar. Oh my! That Jekyll got the chance. It's straight into the ball from close range. That should have been the opening goal.
Definitely should have gotten on the account right there, but unfortunately, a little more passion and enthusiasm than direction. But certainly, builds a nice anticipation for the rest of this match coming forward.
Yeah, the shot has been fired across the ball, so to speak, here for Extreme FC. Go all the way back to Cassidy. As well, Cassidy under pressure, falling right in the dog. Yeah. And this must be some sort of a trend. Cassidy, I noticed, is left-footed. All 4 of the goalkeepers in the last game were left-footed. So there's something in it. They're looking for left-footed goalkeepers.
I was wondering about that because I saw him make that clearance with his left foot, and I was wondering if he's just what's the foot version of ambidextrous. But certainly, yep, he's definitely left-footed. And but like I said, he's very composed. He knows his movements. Couple of matches I saw earlier as well. I saw the skipper Van Pondy goalkeeper. So definitely, as a once upon a time former goalkeeper myself, no accolades whatsoever, actually. It's a good look when you have one of the more responsible positions, also one of the more responsible players. It's a cluster there. There's 3 guys fighting on 2 guys for the ball. Looks like a really exciting setup for a nice joke.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's a good start to one at least. And there's no rabbi involved. Let's put it in here to Extreme. This could be their first opportunity at goal, and it comes to nothing at that one. Just behind for a goal kick. Man on the far side is Clark, who couldn't get the cross in.
Yeah, I think he went for the glory there and didn't finish his application form.
Already, the coaches are starting to shout out instructions, and the Extreme FC coach, Keon Carrington, or was it to stick to the task they were given. Of course, they try to give the players a very short and concise list of assignments that they need to perform in their positions. And players need that little bit of reminding.
We're hearing a lot of screaming and shouting from the sidelines. I think some coaches need to understand that when you give too many cues, the player just shuts down or shuts it up. Let it get play. You make some strategic interventions, tell them where you need them to be, keep it shape, advance ball, look for spaces, but keep the cues short. I think some of these people, they have like a chat GPT function on their mouth, and they've just been spewing. I think, they're micromanaging every single play, and it really makes me wonder what is happening. Not in this case, but I'm just saying in a general term. What is happening at club practice?
Yeah, certainly. Young players looking for their own control, and a bit of work there by Street coming in to make the stop. Well read there by Street because he saw Declan may have gotten to that before his defender.
Had a good 40-yard dash there. It is indoor season at track and field, so maybe he has a future. Who knows?
Yeah, it is, and several of the outstanding athletes already out there. There was the Olympic 100-meter champion, ran the 400s for St. Lucia, I believe it was, and broke the St. Lucia national record.
And if it was Judy Banton, I would have been looking for outdoor meets, so I both the indoor and outdoor national record one time. That form is not going to last. Yeah, so once you get into the thick part of speed work, that 400-meter run is done. But she looked really good.
Yeah, she did. We saw that race and never really challenged or pressed in any way in that race. Let's take over with the left foot, gonna swing this one in towards goal. Always dangerous here. That's a very poor attempt there, straight into the first player. Couldn't defeat the first player, but he decided who wouldn't count it anyway.
But still a big count. Never got off the ground though.
Yes.
I suppose it's a little bit behind the spot he would have wanted to put his off foot. Didn't get our eyes on that ball. Larry, just want to say thank you. The feedback we've been getting on these streams have been overwhelmingly positive, and definitely, those set baritone vocals you've been dropping have gone a long way to helping create that value for us here in this Republic National Youth Football League this year.
Don't set barricades. Are you allowed to use language like that on the live stream?
If you get fans, we know why.
Well, thank you very much. Nice of you to mention that.
But just back me on some of what I actually came to do, which is take some photos. You guys can go on TT Game Plan, look for the albums. We will put them up. But I want to say that I've already shot over 4,000 images per day. Wow. So don't expect them anytime soon. But it will eventually. And we just want to say thank you, everyone, for supporting it. We need to see a lot more love on these streams, but, we're going to get there. So we're there for the ride.
Thank you.
Bye. Now I'm handing over to the actual professionals who know what they're doing.
Thank you very much. Dennis joining us on the stream. Pro Series versus Extreme FC. These two teams battling away here. We're inside the 10th minute of the game now. And it is the Extreme team on the defensive at the moment in their red and black. And they do manage to get it clear. And they haven't had too many forays into the enemy territory at the moment. That has been a big change as the Pro Series team starts to tire late on in the half. Where they go with this now. So, Wayne back with us again. And it's driving across from just over the northern range. This area tends to attract a lot of rain because of the presence of the northern range here. Golfers love it. Great for hitting those shots to the green. Not sure the footballers, cricketers love it though. chance here for Pro Series. They spread it wide. All the way back to Hill. Yes, across the end, far post overhead. So still nothing in the way of goals so far between Pro Series and Extreme FC. And Pro Series will want to build on that 18-0 drubbing of Batiste Academy in the first game. That's quite a loss. And Batiste Academy also losing 12-0 earlier today. So they have the record of 30 goals against and none for so far in the competition. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight at all. And just to remind you, in this under 20 tournament, we have the likes of Pro Series, Batiste Academy, Extreme, Miscellaneous Lavender United, Seekers, City FC, Boca Lions, and Trent Center Hawks. Those are the 8 teams battling for 2 spots to move forward into the Sweet 16, as they call it. And you could possibly tell that the framers of the new structure, they love basketball. Top play on the far side, and that is the AR1 for this match. It's Jared Payne. Jared took charge of the last game. Jared, also known as Mortimer. He likes to be called Mortimer for some reason. I think that's his actual real name. Known as Jared and Mortimer at the same time. So corner coming out for the Pro Series team, and they're in the blue outfits. And here's Deckel is going to step across to take that kick. 4 goals for him in the last game. None so far inside the first 12 minutes. Can they unlock this Extreme FC defense from a dead ball situation? They stand massing at the back post. That's exactly where it goes. Nobody can locate it for a moment. Oh, there was a chance of handball. Actually, the keeper did well to make the stop. Pro Series have not been able to assert their dominance so far. Credit here to Extreme FC and their abilities to stand tough against the likes of Pro Series. Paul Deckel is the technical director of the Pro Series team. He was appointed as the technical director of the U.S. Virgin Islands in November last year, so related congratulations to him. This one's played through the numerous lobby and into the back of the net. There is the opening goal, and it has come here in the first half, 14 minutes in, and it's 1-0. 1-0 to Pro Series, and Manus lobbed it over. Snap the tall figure there of Hill has gone forward to get it. So the opening goal has come the way of Pro Series, and many would have predicted that. Outstanding team they are, and they have the opening goal. So 1-0. All the work now on Extreme FC to get back into this one. Operates the match score for Pro Series. Now that goal coming in the 14th minute. Was that a corner? Yes, it is. Off the body of the keeper and away. So Pro Series looking for a second goal. We saw 2 goals in 2 minutes in the last game. We have a repeat here. That's headed away. And in one of the earlier games, we saw 4 goals in 4 minutes. So they can come thick and fast here in this 120 division. Rain is again with us. There's a slight drizzle just drifting across the valley. It's a beautiful valley, the home of This is the fourth incarnation of the St Andrews Golf Club. Crossed, deflected, and cleared. The attempted cross fell to a Pro Series player, and they immediately on the attack here, but the forward ball to Decker was not the best of contacts. Taylor manages to keep it alive here for the Pro Series team. Back with the centre back Brown. Goes all the way back. His goalkeeper Casimir is there. O'Brien. They've already made a couple of changes here, Pro Series. O'Brien has come on, and Harper, who scored the goal just a couple of moments ago, another one of the substitutes. High over all of the players running onto there, or attempting to choose Fernandez. So round 3 next week. And certainly it's starting to take shape here in the North. City FC. The ones to catch at the moment. One of these two teams might go on 2 wins. And Seekers getting their second win. So those are the 2 front runners at the moment. Here come Extreme FC. Goes around the, oh, that's a wretched attempt at cross. If he did that from the first tee, that would have landed the 9th hole at Carabao here. Not the best of shots at all. Has happened many times, I'm sure. Here's Hill for Pro Series. His central defensive partner, Brown. Looking for the long diagonal ball. There it is. I'm not sure. That was not the best of passes. They were waiting for that Extreme FC, and they picked it up quite easily. So one of these teams is going to end up as the 3rd team to win their first 2 games. Unless there is a draw. Pro Series 1-0 ahead. Goals. Ariel Chances, that is a foul, and Pro Series with the ball. These two understand each other very well, Hill and Brown. Here's Hill once again. Good work. Yeah, they seem quite adept at playing through the high press big quickly. A couple of passes and they're into the midfield and on their way. We're watching action here in the Republic Bank National Youth Football League. 2025 season kicked off last week. Longest running youth football league in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, chance! That's a shot up! Oh, couldn't keep it down. Well, the sound you heard. That's it coming off the 10 toasters here. Managed to sky his effort. Evolution FC won the Trinidad Under-20 title and then went into the final, beating Eagles FC of Tobago last year on penalties after a 1-1 draw at the UTT Mera campus. Evolution won 5-4 on the kick-string penalty mark. There could be a chance at the other end. There isn't. So all of these teams here hoping to make it into the next round of the competition and perhaps get the chance to take the title away from Evolution. And Evolution providing one of the great stories last year, a team that's only been around first touch, and that's why the chance is gone. Lectrin, what's the man who's trying to get that forward? He's into it, and it gives it away. Harding. Bit too frenetic in the middle for Extreme FC Pro Series. Just seem to be dominating the middle of the park. And Extreme operating on fast forward every time we get the ball. Still, they're not far out of the game. It's given it up here in a dangerous position to Deckel. Now Taylor. Knocked on here by Harper, the goal scorer. Trying to switch the point of the attack here. And just the impetus going slightly, so they're resetting again. But East looking for Deckel through the middle, but there was none left for the Extreme team. There's a player down, and referee Louch and just checking up to make sure he's okay. It was the Pro Series player who went down. Louch always seems to be refereeing with the cap on. That's that baseball cap that he uses. Not a bad shot with the humidity as it is. High 70s from what I saw earlier today. This feels the humidity, so these players, those t-shirts are stuck to their backs with sweat at the moment. And scrum. Here's Hill. Up through the space, looking for the run of Taylor. Taylor gets to the byline, can keep it in. And that has gone out of play. It looks like it's going to be a corner. Yes, it is. Pro Series will have the corner. Actually, it's not straight downfield. Well, initially it was a corner. Cleaned out, was awarded as a goal kick eventually. Keeper will come for this one and gets it. That's a nice, cool move. Good header by Hill. Just touching the header off his forehead into the grateful arms of Casimir. Whistle goes, and that will sit before the end of the first half. Playoff action resumes. Pro Series leading Extreme FC 1-0 halfway in the 14th minute. And it's been a tight first half. Extreme have been second best definitely in terms of an attacking sense. But its Pro Series have not quite asserted themselves as we've known them to do in the past. Space here on the right-hand side. It's with Taylor who gets the cross in. Far post. Just hit it away in time, but Pro Series still have another bite to the cherry here. The reset. Here's Taylor again. Taylor just didn't read the pass very well. And the chance was gone. He still gets a throw in. Extreme FC showing their mettle here. Has to go all the way back to Cassidy, and he whacks it up forward. Hit that with some force. In fact, he was trying to whack it into the side of the hemisphere for a moment there. Jacko will take the free kick. He's very much left-footed. Just going to try to swing this one towards the far post. Always difficult, those free kicks swinging towards goal. Difficult for the keeper to judge the line, and here it is, in towards the near post. The keeper comes for it. Oh, he almost presented it to the Pro Series player, who would have swept that into the corner. Good work though by Street at the second attempt. Here's Extreme trying to find some joy down the left-hand side. They won't find it there because Hill is there to make the stop. Simmons trying to borrow down the left-hand side for Extreme FC. That's right to Goddard. And headed away here by Bruno for Pro Series. Extreme take over control. Well, this whistle that goes the way of the Extreme team. That's a good advantage, or attempt at least to play the advantage by Larry Lalton. But it didn't materialize. He pulled the play back. So Extreme will have the free kick. Not much wind here. If there were, I'd say it wouldn't be a bad shot to hit. A shot from that distance. Headed away. At the corner. It's Benjamin on far side upfield. He's the man with the flag. There we are, ready for the corner. Extreme. Can they strike here in the first half? Off the chest. Ooh, and banged away. Good play by Fernandez to get that clear. Not for long though. Not a bad attempt there by Simmons, but maybe he had a couple of yards he could have traveled forward before unleashing that right-footed shot. It was quite windy earlier, now it's very, very still. Not a blade of grass or a leaf moving at the moment here in what was the old Mocha Estate, Mocha Valley Estate, to get the correct name. The estate was torn down, and the golf course was built here back in the 1970s. St. Andrews Golf Club is the oldest club in Trinidad and Tobago, formed back in 1881. It's just to the side of the field where you're looking at the moment. Pro Series here looking for a second. That is a very good recovering tackle by Clark, who came back, the right winger, coming back to do the work. I tell you what, if he hadn't done that, that could have been Pro Series in on goal. Kerry Batiste will take the swing on the far side. Not sure he is related to Kerry Batiste, but the former national striker, but he's the youngster. I think I'll try to find out that for you in the halftime break. swept in. Keeper, well, he punts it down, misses it. Pro Series, oh, that's a disappointing shot. Now let's hit with some venom, and again! What's the call here from the official? Well, I think the extreme player, he took that one. Well, I'm not sure where he took that one, but if you could possibly see where he's holding, it would tell you it's just out of the solar plexus. Yep. Not much you can do when that happens. You just have to pump the legs and hope that he recovers in time to continue here. I think that is exactly what happened. Yep. They've given him the ice and they've asked him, you apply it to the area where you got hit. I think that's the safest way to deal with that particular type of injury. If you've ever been hit there by football, you know exactly. You might be grimacing right now. The unfortunate man is Letren, and Letren is just ambling off the field. It looks like he's going to be okay. The ice has done its work. It's all wide for the personal team. They were trying to find him. That was a mostly underhand pass. Over here, players injured. One of them is down. That's the one who got that awful knock. He seems to be okay now. But it's going to be a free kick for Extreme FC. And as a result of the Pro Series team, is telling his players to come behind at the moment. He tends to play a little bit narrower. That's the way. FC, and they pull it more back, and they equalize on this dead ball situation. That's good kick. The keeper covered, but then a woeful deflection will put it into the back of the net. Wow. Well, same. It's going to be a corner hit for the Extreme FC team. Running over it. They were looking at this. Good away. Good again. It's completed by the team to that would be like John Fields. It's put by Lewis. Maintaining possession by Steve. Echo takes it over. And Fernandez. For series. Desperate defending it by Extreme FC against player. And some confident defending by O'Brien to get that into touch. Also, just spending a Saturday evening with us here. On PC Game Plan, they're watching the action on Facebook. Nice to have you with us. Keep it straight all the way. I think he was aiming to hit that ball towards the center of the ball. When this team just help his way put it off with on the way back to stand back down and kill it. For the generation of wants to ball back to Cassidy. Cassidy again, very competent, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's putting themselves on the field here. ran across the pathway of the floor and prevented him from getting across. Michael, it's a hard chance for him to get that one on goal. Well, Cassidy stood there. He was approaching the ball. That's perfect for mine to get up and continue to play. Away. Uh, More like a pass. Good up to the one ball that just comes wide. 20 minutes to go here in the first half, and series at extreme away things um, keepers just dropped in front of him, got enough of a touch on it to push around the post. While Extreme are striving to get that equalizer, they're leaving themselves a bit more open at the back, and the Pro Series trying to catch them. Very quick on the break here, and his tackle will take the corner. Very good corner run, testing the Extreme FC defense. Now they can clear. Can they get that downfield? Oh, that's not a good ball at all. Great opportunity to break there down the flanks, but just pulling the trigger too early. The man coming down the right hand side for Extreme. That's Clark. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. And one of the coaches mentioning to his players, it's all about match at the moment. Make sure they don't equalize for the series. Bruno. It's a return ball. It will go instead to Taylor. Bruno is the spin man over. The cross comes in, and was that a handball? Referee says no. Play continues. Pro Series coach Curtin Moore is having a few long distance words with number 17 Bruno. Admonishes him for walking on his football field. Obviously, had devices, it's a straight the extreme FC player, and luckily he gets his backs. It's not like a first touch at all. Chance! That's going to play. We'll tip back Chavez. Here's Hill. A couple of players on the far side. That's woefully overhit. Just fire that across the face of goal. Series supporters sensing that their team can get a second year. Extreme FC, their supporters are saying, well, that's a bit of a rugby match there. Two players getting tangled up. Pierre and Batiste there. Just a little bit of a staring match. Lauch is getting in there. And Pierre seems to have lost his temper. He's now remonstrating with the referee, and that's never a good thing to do. In fact, one of his players was trying to get him to calm down, and he was having none of it. So keep an eye on number 9 for Extreme FC. That's Pierre. Let's hope he doesn't lose his control and his composure here totally. Away at the first attempt. Here's O'Brien. Back downfield. Still to Pro Series. It's not playing a match. I was dropping on the end of that. So quickly, just going back the play. That's actually Nichols. I was the man who was trying to get it on the end of that play. We keep it small. Let me see somebody trying to work from the training pitch, but second touch did not work out. Here's Hill. Brown. Turning nicely Brown. Give away in the midfield. Spectators have come trickling in from all over the country to watch this game. Well, that was football almost fell time for Pro Series. Hill. And just take that one downfield. Extreme player just backpedaling and had to get that player now. They're giving it away here for Pro Series. Oh, that's not a good pass. He was looking to play in Taylor. Oh, hit it. Well, he tried to do too much there. Goddard. Nice move to get past the first player. After that, well, it all went downhill there. Tackle. Good reverse ball, but he's offside. Not going to count. Really good ball there for Jekyll, but the man in front of him had gone beyond the last defender, so an easy call for the official, Jared Hayden on the far side. His job is to put it into the net, but it's not going to count. Still 1-0, and we are just seconds away from the end of the first half.